So we're just going to talk about a few sort of really common mistakes that CrossFitters make when it comes to rowing on the rowing machine. And one of the first ones is basically opening up the back really, really early. Okay, so you can see this across athletes at the CrossFit games. You see this in CrossFit boxes everywhere, where basically you just lead with that shoulder opening up too early. Okay, and the knee, and not driving back with the hip. So first drills to kind of rectify that is it's a legs only drill. Okay, so just leading with those hips and keeping those shoulders really nice and strong. So your back's strong, it's not flexing at all, especially in that shoulder joint, that's staying especially strong. Okay, you just really push your legs, just doing that legs only drill. Really helps to film this as well, as often what it feels like isn't actually what it looks like. Okay, so don't be afraid to film yourself. Okay, I also have a feedback group where you can post these videos to be reviewed by myself. If you want to join that link is in the description. Okay, but starting with those legs only is going to be great at just starting to learn how to position your body for a long, strong, and powerful stroke. So once you've done maybe a good sort of minute or so just doing that drill, okay, so 20 strokes, try and do maybe like 20 strokes per minute. Okay, you're then going to go into a legs and hips. Okay, legs and hips. Okay, really keeping that arm straight. Okay, the whole time, legs and hips. And then just making sure you're getting the shoulder in front of the hip. Okay, before your knees come up too much. Okay, so as you slide forwards, your body stays in that same angle. Again, sort of 20 strokes or so after you've done that legs only, and then going into normal rowing for, again, 20 strokes or so. And that's just going to start to set you up really, really well. Okay, what we call sequencing in rowing, okay, where you have that first half of the drive with the legs, and then the legs and the body open out. So you can see on that legs only drill, okay, my body is sort of wanting to try and open up in that last bit. And if you do, and if you think during this drill as you're doing it, you'll find that there's a point where your legs really start to accelerate down, your body wants to open. Okay, that's the point where you actually do really want to open out. But for the purpose of that legs only drill, just doing legs only, and you can start to really feel where you want to actually push during the drive. Okay, so another great drill to do, but one that's really hard to master, okay, is learning how to row with your feet not strapped in. So this really forces you to basically front load the stroke, okay, and really push through your toes at the finish. And if you don't do this, if you open up really, really early, you basically fly off the back, as demonstrated by myself here. Okay, it looks really, really silly. But again, a really good drill to really force yourself to row with that good sequence. Okay, but again, it's something really hard to master. So again, this is really kind of demonstrated in this video here, where I think Craig Ritchie is doing a rowing event in London. Again, really opening up his body early on the stroke, as you can sort of see here. And then he's rowing, I think, a relay with some Olympic champions. So here's Paul Bennett, who won Olympic gold in Rio, the men's 8. And you can just see here, the start of his stroke, how aggressive he's shoving those hips back, but how strong he is in his shoulders. You can really, really see this well in this little clip here. Okay, so there's no body opening, okay, but his shoulders are really strong. He's shoving his hips back really, really forcefully. And this is what you want to do in the rowing stroke. But it is getting a lot better in CrossFit over the past sort of couple of years. I think here's Tim Paulson. And although he's got a bit of a pause, if you look at what he's doing on the drive, it's actually quite good. So he's leading away with the hips, his shoulders are staying nice and strong. And it's a good sort of drive sequence. Okay? I don't think he did particularly well in this event at Wadapalooza, but still a really nice drive nonetheless. Craig also goes on to actually do some good things with his rowing stroke, and is rowing a huge amount better as you can see in this clip here, where his hips are leading away. And although it's obviously not perfect, it's a lot better than it has been in previous videos, which is great to see. And one thing you got to give CrossFitters credit for is their sort of tenacity to want to improve in so many areas, which is such a challenge. It's why I really enjoy the sport of CrossFit, is that there are so many skills to learn. But obviously CrossFit does tend to favour some skills more highly, like your weightlifting movements, and forces you to invest a bit more time and energy into learning those movements well. But if you just apply that same sort of tenacity just to a few different areas of the sport within CrossFit, particularly rowing, I think that's one of the really sort of underutilized movements to really upgrade your skills in. Then you'll row a huge amount better. You'll look better as you row, you'll do better scores, and you'll just enjoy it a lot more as well because you're better at it. So if you are looking at sort of improving your rowing specifically within your training block, CrossFit, you can't really just work on everything at the same time, unfortunately, unless you're pretty geared up. You need to sort of periodize things so that you can focus on different areas. And if rowing is one of them for you, then I've got some sort of short programs, so some 4 to 6 week programs. So if you're looking at breaking 7 minutes or just getting a new PB, these programs work really well, up to probably about 6:10, 6:20 on the 2K if you're a man, and probably around 7 minutes if you're a woman. And we'll put you in a great place to get really good PBs, and that's on the 2K, 5K, and if you are doing 30-minute rate 20s in your box, then I do one for that as well. And like I said earlier in the video, I also do a weekly kind of coaching call where if you post your videos, it doesn't have to just be rowing related, it can be anything. And yeah, I'll give you some feedback and some tips on how to improve specifically for you. And a link to join that group is just in the description. So yeah, hope you found that helpful. See you on the next one.